So I think we are live now. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical problems, sorry. Hello, colleagues. A warm welcome to all of you. Thank you all for taking the time to attend the Teams meeting today. This is very important. We are very pleased that the EuroTier will take place again this year, and that we as the Vilofoss group will be there. EuroTier is a good opportunity for us to strengthen our brand, to make it better known and to expand our business. Markus, can you put on the next slide, please? Also, internally, it is of great importance since this is the only trade fair we have attended as group so far. We were able to draw attention to ourselves at the last EuroTier 2018 with a professional appearance, and we also gained new customers. One example is our customer in Yemen, with whom the initial contract was made at EuroTier 2018. For us as a group, however, it is also a challenge because colleagues from different countries come together and some products that we offer are not so familiar to everyone. And that's why today's appointment is very important, to bring everyone up to speed and to make it clear what we expect from you. In front of the EuroTier, we already had successes. We won a silver medal, the DLG silver medal, and we are shortlisted for the AgriFuture concept winner. And I think this is something where we can be very proud about. Markus, Annemarie and other colleagues have done a lot of work and efforts in the last weeks to organize the EuroTier, and Markus will give some further information about the exhibition and our booth later. He also will tell you about the guidelines, how to behave on the exhibitions. And at this point, I would like to underline that we expect everyone to stick to these guidelines. The guidelines are mandatory. For example, it is about the dress code, it's about filling out contact forms and appearing in the morning before the start of the trade fair for a round of introductions and briefings. So we will hear about that later. I'm very happy to meet you all in Hanover and have a successful fair with a fantastic team and professional and modern both. But now we will see it in detail. Can you please share the agenda, Markus? This is the agenda for today. You already received it. It's only a small time frame for everyone to explain about the products. The speakers will present their input one after the other. And if you have any questions, then you can write it in the chat. And if we have time afterwards, we will answer some. We will answer them directly, and if we have a lack of time, we will send it written afterwards. Okay, that is it from my side, and I will hand over to Mr. EuroTier, to Markus now.
Unmute. Hello, can you hear me? Marina?
Yes, you are.
I cannot unmute. Can you unmute me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Markus.
So
you can start.
I have a sign that I'm unmuted. Okay. Hello, everyone. From Markus. I will organize the exhibition EuroTier. And now I will inform you about the points, what we will expect on the EuroTier. First of all, EuroTier is the biggest exhibition for animal production in the world. In 2018, we had more than 150,000 visitors from all over the world. I hope that in this year there will come also so much people. There were more than 2,500 exhibitors. I think this year it will be a little bit less. The visitors come from all over the world. You can see here the visitors in 2018 from Australia, from America, and also from Asia or Africa. Yeah, the meeting customers of very different educations we will have on our booth, dealers, farmers, veterinarian. Yeah. Annemarie also said something about the innovations. We are also listed and have won one, so I will not add so much information about it. We won the silver medal for Vilofoss. I think the product manager will inform us about that. But innovations are very important because you have seen it in many newspapers that they all will inform about what is new on EuroTier. We've also been at the speed dating for that, and the newspapers are very interested in. We will show it also on the exhibition. The same is the product it's a product for the agri-future concept. We are on the short list and hopefully will win the prize. Yeah, some things about EuroTier, our booth. We will also have a tablet holder right to the products where you can show, or customers can try to work with the X-Elite calculator. The figure, this slide is careful. This is where our booth is placed. We are new on hall 21. Last time we have been on hall 2. We are on the left corner, direct to the entrance. In hall 21, stand Jet 08. The booth is 175 square meters. This is the plan how the booth is planned. It's a plan from 2018, but we will have the same booth this year by another booth builder. We have to find a new one. But here you can see we have different kind of places for communication, for haptical product shown, the information with Annemarie in the front, the bar in the back side. We have 2 meeting rooms you can book, and here the kitchen, and also a photo box where you can go with your customers and take a photo. They can share it or print it out. Here are some slides about how it looks like. We changed the picture from the woman with the birds to the ruminants. Yeah, in the front you can see here are the leading products they will shown. A further picture. Here's a photo box. Everyone who will take a photo can directly share it by email or have it in printout. Here's a picture of 2018 where you can see the products in the front and many people who visited us. These are the leading products, and furthermore Vilofoss products what we will show on the exhibitions, and visitor can stand there and look and feel, and then we have the chance to talk to them. Here's a picture of the photo box we will use. So the dress code for us and for the service, you will see the blue for the service and a white for the salespeople. This year we decide, or the CEO decided, that we will not wear a tie, but everyone has to wear a dark clothes with a white. And on Wednesday we will have a party on the booth. We have a DJ and the singer, and yeah, it will start at 7:30, I think. 7 official at 18, but it will start a little bit earlier. You can invite all the visitors you know are on the exhibition on Wednesday. We are also 2 presenters of the Vilofoss group. On Tuesday there will Rod speaking about X-Elite, and on Wednesday Arne Schäfer from Germany about Nutri-Spa. You feel free to invite the customers. Now we come to the guidelines. We will also send it out by email. So we start every day on 8:45 in the morning, and on the exhibition, please don't group between the colleagues, that customers will also see and go further. The uniform appearance, black or dark blue jacket, no tie, I said it before. We will not use a mobile phone on the booth. Please go outside the stand when we will phone someone. And also, Annabelle said it, you have to fill out the registration recording sheets with the customer or directly after the customer. I will show you this, how it looks later. For everyone, we will have also finger food. It is available and will deserve when you request it by the service people. And 12:30 or 13, we will also have lunch for all of you, that you will not be out of the stand to buy it by yourself. So you can eat it if you wish. Yeah, the party on Wednesday, I said it. There's no place for you in the kitchen or in the corridors, so please keep it clear. Don't stand up the suitcase or other jackets or other things. Therefore, will be a wardrobe in the kitchen. And also not for good customers, I will keep it on the booth. No. And also, suppliers should not be met at our stand. Yeah? They will visit you in your hometown, I think. So the exhibitor passes will send out to you only digital, not by hand. So you will get it by a link. Then you have to follow the link and register it online, and then you will get a QR code. You will have it on your mobile phone, and then you get entrance to the exhibition. If you are not as exhibitor and sales or service people, you can also use your visitor passes. We will have them with a discount, so then they are cheaper, and you can also get on the exhibition at 9 AM. With the exhibitor passes, you can come earlier. Here are the addresses for the hotel. You have also get it by email. The hotel is 14 kilometers to the exhibition, and in the evening you will have a dinner at a restaurant 3 kilometers from the hotel. You have to book it in advance until 8th of November. On the exhibition, we have also a schedule where you can see who is working and who is only visitor on the booth, so you can look if anyone is asking for a person. And this year we have more than 2018, more people on the exhibition. It was planned for 20 or 23 advisors, and now you will see we have sometimes more than 26, 29 advisors. That are, I think, sometimes too much people on the booth. So someone has to go out and look other booths. Yeah, we have 6 or 7 persons for service. Two of them are external, other from Vilofoss, Germany, and Annemarie and me for organization and at the info point. After the exhibition, we will directly send out a thank you email to all the registered visitors to say thank you, and that they have a little bit time for us, that we will get the right answer to them. So you can also reserve the 2 meetings rooms we have, some with 4 and some with 8 places. Feel free to go to the service or write an email before that the meeting room is reserved for you. Now all the visitors have to register at the different sheets for pork, beef and poultry, just with short sentences, or you have to sign up who and what he wants from us. These are some figures from 2018 that we have all put in a list, in an Excel sheet, so we know how much people have been there, which country they come from, who is responsible for, which animal species are they interested in. And after that, what comes later. Yeah. So new on EuroTier is also that we will have it scanned to lead things, so everyone is registered at the entrance, all customers, all visitors, and it is much quicker to scan it. We have one scan to lean point at the info at Annemarie, not more. So you have also to fill it out by hand. Also new is that there are Mixi points, QR codes, who are at the some different points on the booth there, where we have linked to the website or directly linked to leaflets. After the exhibition, I will ask you for your feedback, to ask how you will be satisfied by the hotel, by the exhibition, by the booth, by the organization and the visitors. Feel free to sign it up, and this is here by 2018. I think Carsten had the right numbers, because 1 was the best and the 5 was the worstest, and he changed it. So this is the point for me. If you have questions, please put it in the chat. And now I will give the word with the next sheet, I think, to Anne, to Stalosan.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Markus.
Thank you.
Can you share the?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. We want to push our sales for Stalosan, and therefore we want to make an event after the EuroTier. It will be 4 special partner webinars, especially for our dealers and salespeople. One is for general for Stalosan, one for ruminant, one for pigs, and one for poultry. And to get as many as possible to these webinars, we would like to promote it on EuroTier. And therefore, we have prepared postcards, and we also made some polo shirts. So if you are talking to your customers which are selling Stalosan, or salespeople who are selling Stalosan, it would be fine if you talk about this event and give them the postcard and give them a polo shirt. Yeah, and it's not for farmers, it's mainly for really dealers and sales peoples, because we are telling about sales arguments and so on. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and the next thing I think will be the part of Per Teilgor, and he is unfortunately in Spain and can't join us. And we made a video which I will show now. I have to go back, sorry.
I will start to present the EuroFoss product. The EuroFoss product is a brand new product which just are coming on the market here this month. So it's really new. And we are so lucky that we have obtained an EuroTier silver medal for this product. And we're very, very happy for this. But why? What is it in this product? It is a product which improves the immune function, which basically just give higher production results. It has been developed with special focus for the wheel calves around weaning to prevent the diarrhea there. But it can also be used for the heifers in the same time period, but also on other time period where they have increased stress. For example, when you're moving the animals. The EuroFoss include 3 different unique properties, what I'll go through now. One thing is that it contains a very unique form of vitamin E. Here on the left side of the screen, you can see a synthetic form of vitamin E. And that is the commercial product of vitamin E, what we usually are using. Here we have this a form called RRR. That's the natural form of vitamin E, and it's basically the only form of vitamin E the calf can use, whereas all the other forms of vitamin E, she's not able to absorb them. In the EuroFoss, it only contains the natural form of vitamin E, so it's really much more potent compared to the normal commercial vitamin E we have on the market. Second, we also use a new protection strategy of this vitamin E. Here on the left side, we have a normal vitamin E, which is bound to the acetate. That's the form the vitamin E exists in all commercial products. And having this acetate together with the vitamin E is protecting the vitamin E, so we can have it on stock for years without it harming the vitamin E. The problem is that the calf need to get rid of that acetate before she's able to absorb the vitamin E. And the thing is that the calf have very limited possibilities for doing that. So in the EuroFoss product, we are having the vitamin E in a different form. We have it without the acetate. We have it in the form it's directly can be absorbed by the animal. But we still need a protection of it, so it's not getting oxidized when we have it on stock, and it will very fast be degraded. So we have here included a very specific fat matrix. It's a new technology, and that's protecting the vitamin E for being oxidated. A third thing is very special for the product is that it includes some very specific fiber. And on the fiber, it's basically into two families, the soluble one and the insoluble one. And within this insoluble fiber, inert fibers, we are using a very specific one, which is heat treated for getting an extra effect. And that is what's included in the EuroTier as a carrier of the vitamin E. Does it work? We have tested this product on Aarhus University, and we found really nice results. Here in this slide, we see the vitamin E in plasma, and vitamin E in plasma is a very good mirror to get an idea about the immune function of this animal. And what we see is that here pre-weaning, they were on the same level, they were on a very nice level, because here pre-weaning, the calf is not really challenged yet. At weaning, they have been supplemented this product for 3 weeks, and we can see that in the green line, it's much higher than the blue line. The blue line is the control, and the green is the EuroTier. So we can see that we have been successful in getting a higher amount of vitamin E into the animal. But the most interesting place to look this figure is here post-weaning. Post-weaning, that's here in the period where the animal is really challenged. And here we can see that we still have a very high level of vitamin E in plasma in the EuroTier group, but it's very, very low in the control group. And that means, well, we have been able to get a higher level of vitamin into the calf, so she's more resistant, and she's more able to cope with challenges by herself. And we can see the one on the control group, well, she has a very, very low possibility to cope with some challenges, some stress challenges. In the trial, we were also looking into some specific stress indicator. Here we see in the green bars here, which is the cortisol, that was decreased about 40%. We also looked into amyloid A, and that was also decreased here. And decreased level of stress indicator demonstrate that the product is working, the animal is less stressed, she is more efficient. And that is what we can see here when we look into the long-term effect of the product. Here we have, this is data from the slaughterhouse, and we compare the control with the EuroTier. We can see that they basically have the same age when they are entering the slaughterhouse, but the group having received the EuroTier have much more higher body weight, and we can also see that the growth, daily growth, is higher compared to control. The carcass weight is much higher in the EuroTier group compared to the control. The body has been classified, and we can see that it have a better form, a better classification, and a better classification is getting will get a higher value per kilogram carcass. So in the end, here we have calculated the price of the amount of money that the farmer will receive from the slaughterhouse, which is about 40 euro higher for the calves which has been received the EuroFoss. So we can see that it changed a lot of things in a small direction, but all together it just really give a high, significant increased income. And that's really great. So summing up, EuroFoss, it's a product for increasing the immunity. We are using a higher bioavailable form of vitamin E. So basically we can decrease the disease level, we get a higher production. The way to use it is to supplement it from 3 weeks before weaning to 2 weeks after weanings with 10 grams per day. Product X is a new product which can reduce the enteric methane from the ruminants. It's a product which has been developed in a project where we call No Methane, where also a lot of other companies are participating. You can see it's both universities and also, for example, Danish Crown and Arla, some of the big companies here in Denmark. The thing with the methane is that when a cow is eating its feed, it's been digested in the rumen with some fermentation, and under this fermentation there's producing a lot of hydrogen and CO2. These two components are the substrate for the methanogen, which then produce the methane. The idea with and it's also the quote I have here. And the idea with the product X is that it can completely cut the metagenesis. The product has been tested several times now. It's been tested in climate chamber, as you see here, and the results are really, really promising. Here we can see that the methane production is decreased from this 550 to 444 or 434. So it's a huge decrease in the methane production, and at the same time we are able to have at least the same level of feed intake as you see here on the second line here, and also that we still continue on the same level of milk yield. So that's really, really promising that we can reduce the methane and still keep up a good production level. Here we have the timeline for the project. It started for now around 2 years ago, and we are now in the state where we have done a lot of research, especially in Aarhus University. And here it's planned that next year we're going to continue with that. Later on we're going to some larger scale experiment, and by using all this data, hopefully we will be able to get a feed registration of this product. So just to sum up, we know that the product X is very efficient to reduce the methane without decreasing the milk yield and feed intake. So we really believe there's enormous potential for this product in the future. But we do, though, still miss a feed registration before we can go to the market. And it will still take some years. So it's not a product that will be on the market here for a few years from now. The product is on a shortlist for a price at EuroTier, the Agro Future concept. We do not know if we get the price or not. That will be disclosed at the EuroTier. But we're very sure that just as we are on this short list, we will attract a lot of attraction. Excelit is one of our big products. And Excelit is a product for, first of all, reducing the risk of hypercalcemia and subclinical hypercalcemia. And by doing that, it's decreasing really a lot of the metabolic diseases, what we see in the start of lactation. So that's why we put it here in the market as a product for optimize the transition feeding. And I'll just show a few slides from some of the news results we have. It was just released a small paper from New Zealand here in May. And what's new is that they have been testing the Excelit under the condition that is in New Zealand, and that is often cows on pasture, where the cows are eating grass and then they are supplemented just a few feed extra things together with the Excelit. Second, what's new in this paper is also it's been tested on several big farms. So that's a nice thing here. First of all, we can see the result they found on the blood work. Here we see the blood calcium, and that is the main aspects of the Excelit, as we are able to increase the plasma calcium level. You can see the control animals, they were very low. They are here all in this red area, which demonstrate the area where they have a too low level of blood calcium, and they're really deep down in here. Whereas the cows which have received the Excelit, they are all on a very, very, very nice level of calcium here. So we can just say, well, it did work under the conditions in New Zealand. Also, we know that the product is decreasing the phosphor level. That's also what we see here. It's taking the phosphor level down to a level here around 0.5, and that's just very nice. Again, we can say that under these conditions, it really worked well. The product was tested in New Zealand in 6 farms. And here we have the main results, which is again, it's the blood work. We see in most of the farm, they really found a nice response, going from the level here around 1.8, 1.7 to a level higher than the 2. So it's an enormous response that they really observed on this farm. And going from a level of calcium on 1.8 and taking it up on 2 or 2.10 will reduce a lot of the metabolic diseases. And that's what we see on these slides, because it's very accepted from the literature that if you decrease the subclinical level of hypercalcemia, well, you will get well, opposite. If you have subclinical hypercalcemia, then you will have about 4 times higher level of displaced abomasum. You will have 5 times more probability for ketosis, 4 times more for metritis, 3 times higher probability for retained placenta, and you will also observe that the probability to observe an estrus are much lower. So again, the calcium level was good, and we know that it will improve the health condition on these farms. I will now present the Excelit calculator. The Excelit calculator is made so you are able to calculate the benefit, the economical benefit of using the Excelit product. This calculator is based on a tool called SEMHERT. SEMHERT is a scientific tool for doing exactly this economical calculation on farms. But that's been made a specific app, so it's very easy to use when you are on the farm. You can take it, you can bring it, have it on your mobile, as we can see here on the picture. So you can easily use it when you are discussing with the farms, with the farmer, what would the benefit be. Here we are on the Excellent homepage, and I've gone to the calculator. The calculator does now exist in several languages, and you can see them all here. So there's really a lot to choose from. Now I just go to the Euro version. And when I do that, you can see I come to this calculator page. And here in the top part of the screen, we can see there's some basic assumption on the farm. We can change the number of animals on the farm. We can change the milk price. And there's also 2 questions here. If they already are using a DCAT or they're not, if there's a change. And we can also put in here if it's only for the dry cows or it's dry cows and the heifers there is getting the Excellent. Then in the next part, there's some more questions relating to the production and disease level of in this farm. And we can see here, we can change again the milk yield, and we can change some other things here. Here in the last column, we can see the response when you're using the Excellent. So for example, when you earlier had a milk yield on 11,000 kilogram, then you will now get 96 kilograms more. And likewise, if you go down the screen, you will see what change you would have in replacement rate. Here it's now 1.5 lower than earlier. And you can also see that, for example, the lifetime milk production yield has increased with 2,300 liters. Here on the very bottom, we get the results, the economical calculation, the economical value of the change we are getting of the production trade we are receiving on the farms. And here it's calculated on whole farm level, and the profit per year, that's the difference between the benefit and the cost of the Excellent. And in this example, it will be about 16,000 euro. And if you change something up here, then of course you will get a different value. And that's this idea of this tool, that all farms are different. They have different production level, they have different management level. So it can also be different, the economical output here. The economical output can also be broken down into the 3 main components, and that's what is in this example. It's we can see that 52% of the increased income is due to higher milk yield, 27% is due to livestock sales, and that is because when you're using the Excellent, you will have a better reproduction, so you will get more cows into the next lactation, so you have more heifers to sell. You can also see that the treatment cost has been reduced. So again, this is a tool to discuss with the farmer what is the economical benefit of using the Excellent, and it's all based on the condition that are on this specific herd under this specific condition. Remember that this app can be use from the mobile phone, and it can be very good to have it ready when there's some farmer coming in the booth, and so we have immediately access to this calculator. I will now present the new Vilofoss product range. Vilofoss, that's a new concept where we have included all the products what we use for the calf, especially in the young age, the supplement products here. Some of the products is the electrolyte products. We use the electrolyte products to prevent diarrhea and to rehydrate the animal. And that is one of the most challenging things we have on the farms, because we know that the diarrhea is cause about 56% of the mortality in the calves, and we also know that that's about 26% of the calves that have diarrhea within the first 3 months. When the calf have a diarrhea, she's dehydrated and she get a metabolic acidosis. That means she has a low pH in the body, and actually it might be that this low pH might be the worst thing about being rehydrated, because it's very painful, so the calf getting depression and getting very, very weak. When the calf is have diarrhea, she also have an imbalance in the electrolyte, and she have a low energy level. On this, on the DLED products, that's a product for rehydrate the animals, very standard ranges here. First of all, we have the DLED. That's a powder product. In this powder product, you need to take the powder, stir it with water, and then you add it to the calf about 30 minutes after she have finished with the milk. The DLED Bio is the same, basically the same kind of product, but that's allowed for organic farming. The DLED Express does also have the same effect on the animals. The things that differ here is that this product is made for easier management, so it's a ready to use. It's already in a liquid form, and it can be used directly into the milk, or also directly into the water. So you can have this product placed just next to the animals, or you can have it on your milk taxi, so you can add it when you are feeding the animals. In this table, we have an overview of the product here, and what we can see is that the effect of the animal is the same on all 3 products, but the DLED Express can have this extra thing that could be added directly into the milk, and we have an easier management, it's easier to use. And then last, we can see that the DLED Bio is allowed for organic farming. Then we have a range of other products which are very specific for preventing the diarrhea, or they can also just have higher production. And one of these is the EuroTier, and the EuroTier is a product to help the calf through the weaning period. So it's a product you are adding around weaning, and you will get a higher level of plasma vitamin E in the animal. That means we have improved the immune system of the animal, and in the end, we will have a better production at slaughtering for these animals having received that. Another product is the Rocosal. That's a product which include immunoglobulins, and the immunoglobulins, they are able to absorb some of the unwanted substances what we have in the environment or we have in the diet. So when you are feeding the Rococell, you can prevent a lot of the diarrhea that eventually will come on the farm. We have the Fibermax. That's a fiber product, what you add to the milk. That's often used when you are feeding a high level of milk feeding, as it will stabilize the feeding for the young animals, and that way able to give her a higher daily intake. We have the Vidcox, which includes some plant extracts. There's been made some tests on this product, and we know that it's able to decrease the number of oocytes, number of eggs from the parasites. So if you have problem with parasites on the farm, this product could be an option. We have the Resposan. The Resposan is a product for help the respiration of the animal. It also includes herbs, which are basically the one which are giving the effect. Then we have the Interstop. The Interstop include also some plant extract and some live yeast. So this is a product for improving, increasing the production. You will get a higher feed intake, a higher growth, and more stable feeding. In this flyer, it's also included this table made to demonstrate at which time periods and under which condition you should use one or another of these products. So this is kind of a tool where you can discuss with the farmer on what product should be the right one to use under your conditions or under your management. The next product I will present is the Vilofoss. And the basic idea about the Vilofoss product is that it will reduce the spoilage of feed. The main challenge with the feed on the farm is that as soon as it leaves the silos, it leaves the bunker, it gets mixed together with other sugars, with oxygen, with water, so it has increased the humidity, and the temperature is will also be higher here. That means that all the microorganisms what exist already in the silos, they will have great conditions. So the idea with Vilofoss is that we are supplementing it with the feed ration, and it will impair the condition for the yeast and the bacteria. And by doing that, we will also decrease the generation of heat. The product has been tested in some official tests, so we have some report on that. I do like very much this figure where it's been tested together with some other solutions. And here, what we see here on the figure is the aerobic stability, and that's calculated in hours. And aerobic stability is the number of hours until the temperature has increased 2.5 degrees. So when you're not adding anything, you will have it already after 8 hours. Then the temperature has increased. If you use propionic acid, sodium benzoate, or Salvana product, well, you have increased the stability from 8 to 12 hours. On the Vilofoss product, you have increased the stability from 8 hours until 24 hours. Vilofoss was the only product which gave a significant increase in aerobic stability. The Vilofoss product also reduce the waste in the ration. Here we have tested the amount of nutrients in the morning feed, in TMR in the morning, and then 12 hours after, we have taken another sample of it. And we can see when we that in the control ration, we have a big decrease in the starch, big decrease in the energy in the TMR, a big decrease in the sugar, and a lower digestibility. Whereas in the ration, which supplement with the Vilofoss, they were really doing much better. Just to summarize very short, Vilofoss is a product to reduce the heating of the TMR. It impaired the condition for the bacteria and mold. And it should especially be used in the warm periods, that means during the summer, but also on farms which are adding a lot of water to the rations. Most of the product is used to the lactating animals, but remember also especially the dry cows, because many places this group is only fed every second day, so they might have some problem with the feed quality in this group also. It's non-corrosive, it does not require hazard registration, and for the organic farming we have a special solution.
Yes, now I think Katrin will talk about ProtiSpar.
Yes, hello, my name is Katrin. I'm the substitute for Niels Moritz today, and I will tell you a little bit about ProtiSpar. As you can see, it's a product used in ruminants only. The name ProtiSpar, it's a assembled name from the word protein, and the second part of the word, it's from the word sparen in German, and in English it's to save. So yeah, we save some protein with this product. And the Dutch company, grocery company, they also took the word spar, but in Dutch it means fir tree. So please remember that this is a ruminant product to save protein. The mode of action is that we have a blend of really specialized aromatic substances which produce a shift in rumen microbiotic population. And you have to remember it's not a protein source. So ProtiSpar, if you feed ProtiSpar, you don't feed a protein component, but a blend of aromatic substances, which increase the rumen efficiency. So these aromatic substances, they decrease the protein degradation in the rumen, which means that the fat protein to the dairy cows is bypassed through the rumen to the small intestine, and we have a higher digestibility of the fat protein, and we have more amino acids available at the small intestine for absorption. The benefits of ProtiSpar is, first of all, the biggest benefit that we increase the income over feed cost. We need to feed less protein with a mixed ration to the cows, and the cows produce the same amount of milk. The further big benefit is that we increase the sustainability by reducing the nitrogen output per kilo milk. So the cow is processing the whole protein turnover much more efficient. You can also see that by reduced milk urea contents if you feed ProtiSpar. And we have two products in the leading product assortment, which have nearly the same name, so don't mix them up. We have the NutriSpar. It's the product for the monogastrics. It's the award winner at the last EuroTier. And we have the ProtiSpar with the product, which is the presented product for the ruminants, and it's in the market since 10 years. This was a quick overview over ProtiSpar, and yeah, I hope we will see us at the EuroTier.
I think now it's Jan Storgor with Vilofoss.
Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Give me a couple of seconds. Well, if I can't get it up there, I guess I'll just have to talk instead of. It's like I can't share. It's. Oh, here it is. Good. Yeah. So this is going to be very short. Also, Vilofoss and Stalosan F put in together. Maybe you know the products, maybe you don't too much. So just Stalosan F is a powder we use for all animals. So poultry, cows, pigs, yeah, in general all domestic animals. And the powder will be applied on every surface, especially areas where the animals will lay down. So it could be cow cubicles, it could be farrowing for piglets, it could be broiler house, for instance. You add it before cleaning, disinfecting, adding Stalosan powder everywhere, just below it, for instance, get into all cracks and corners and have the final kill if there's just a bit of leftovers from the cleaning and disinfection. And you can also use it on top of the bedding afterwards when birds has been introduced into the house. So, and it is a special product. I'll get back to that. Vilofoss is a liquid. This is a more specialized product. This is specifically for a hoof disease, a hoof infection called digital dermatitis. It is usually placed within the hoof cleft here or the rear part. It is a spray, a liquid. You spray it preferably, and you do it with a spray like this. Okay, I'll just start with a couple of slides for Vilofoss. I don't think I can put it into presenter mode. Is that looking good, Anna?
Yes, it
okay,
looks fine.
Good. So this is a trial from Ireland, April 21. It doesn't matter. This is just to show you what Vilofoss is against. So we have this infectious skin infectious disease called digital dermatitis. It is usually at the rear legs of a cow or a heifer. It is the back of the hoof, just above the horn tissue here. We have this area, and also we see that digital dermatitis are in the hoof cleft here. This is a very costly disease. If you look at it as a single disease, infectious disease, I think it's only overrun by mastitis. So it is very expensive. When we treat DD with Vilofoss, we spray it directly on this area and in between in the hoof cleft. And as you can see, we get a very fast effect. So before treatments, this is after 3 treatments in 9 days. Already now most of the wound are healed. We have a scab here. The healing is going on, and at day 27 we have a complete heal. So it's a completely new idea. It is not like any other hoof care product on the market today. The mechanism of actions I will not show you here, it's too much, but it is significantly different, and the results and effect are much better. We usually see a decrease in DD to below 5 or even below 3%. Conventional products on the market, copper sulfate, formalin, still we are around 25%. That is what is on we see nowadays in the Western world. So definitely a higher effect. Very shortly, we have from Germany a trial with one of the leading hoof specialists in the world. She's called Andrea Fiedler. The first results was published at an international layman's conference in August this year. And I'm not going to go into details. It is available, these results, more to come. The trial are still running, has been now for 9 months. And she wrote me an email a couple of months ago mentioning that this is the first time in 25 years she actually tested a product that had a significant effect. So very powerful, especially on the German market. This is just to show you how we use it. So we just spray in here. Oh, you can't see it.
No, we
Okay.
can't see it, Jan.
Good. We just
Is
continue
this the slide number 2.
It doesn't matter. Oh, you see slide number 2. Sorry. Yeah, maybe there is a delay. So you haven't seen the Fiedler trial?
No.
No.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Good. I'm just going to skip the presenter mode. This is the trial I talked about, Andrea Fiedler. I'm not going to go in, we are a bit behind schedule, but it is available and it is very powerful. I had a meeting with Sinpro, 17 of the technical people of Sinpro, including Arturo from Spain, who is one of the leading hoof specialists. I gave them a presentation and they really want to go into details with it. They want to go and promote it. They want to recommend it to their customers as well. So we just got that breakthrough. Okay, I will go to Stalosan F. Maybe you all know it, but of course we can't be sure. So, as mentioned, all domestic animals. It is the only powder product. It is a disinfectant. It's a biocide. It's the only one in Europe and the US that actually is allowed to be sold as a biocide or a disinfectant that we call it in the US. So it's quite significant and quite different from all other products of those types on the market. It is very effective. We just load this product with active ingredients. Most of the time when you see all those competing products, we will meet them also at EuroTier. Most of them, they have no active ingredients, maybe only limestone, or maybe they have 0.5%, 1% of some kind of disinfectant, and they mix limestone as a carrier for the remaining 99.5%. Of course, it's a cheaper product when they do it like that compared to Stalosan, but the effect is not there. So we have to be very strict upon not comparing this product with any other product in your EuroTier or anywhere else, because it is a different league. We have loads of studies against all types of pathogens, and you use it only once, twice per week in any animal production, and you will have a high disinfecting, constant high disinfecting effect. Final slide, I think, because of time. Just the different typical areas where we will promote and where we see a nice effect. Pig diarrhea is one of the main reasons for selling this, or the main focus area when selling this product. So on specific diarrhea in a farrowing accommodation, you go and you treat daily for a couple of weeks, and the farmer will see a nice decrease typically in diarrhea, also in treatments needed for that. Poultry infections, we have studies in good results with the typical classical bacteria, Salmonella campylobacter, and also fungus here. Cow mastitis, high somatic cell count, scours, again, like for pig diarrhea. It is diarrhea infections in general. We have a very nice effect. Sheep I'll not mention. I think I will not say any more, Anne, so done from here. Thanks.
Thank you, Jan. The next one is Arndt Schäfer with NutriSpa.
Do you see all my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So I'm Arndt from Germany. So hello, hey, bonjour, hola, and ni hao to everyone. Let me give you a short introduction about the product NutriSpa. So that less leads to more, a new feed concept for nutrient reducing feed. We won at the last physical EuroTier in 2080, the innovation award for that product. So what it is, you see probably at the next slide. You see the next slide? It's okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Looks
it's a fermented product with a high enzymatic activity, which improves the utilization of protein and energy in feed for pigs. So it's an additive, and at least it's also a concept. It's based, this fermented product, it's based on cereal and soybean meal, and at least it's a kind of a simulation of a germination, like when a corn will get to a plant. Also, it uses own enzymes to grow, and this, at least, it's the same background we have in this product at all. So we started with the product, with the additive, on our trial farm in Germany, and also meanwhile some feed producers also use it. So first of all, to reduce the protein, what would be the limit? So we did at least in total, I think we have 20 trials at all with NutriSpa, where we put it on top. We compared it to NSP enzymes, or checked out what will be the limit of the product. So let me show this one, because we had more than 1,000 pigs in this trial, 340 per group. It was done with Duroc. It's together with a feed producer. So the control here in different phases, we had 4 phases, was his best sellers. Then we reduced it with an NSP enzyme, and we reduced it with the product NutriSpa, the dosage of 1.5 kilogram per ton of feed. And these were the data where we compared. At least these are data from Germany. This means according to the demand of carcass quality and lean meat, these are a very typical content of protein, phosphorus, and energy in Germany. So you see the control, starting with 70.7% of crude protein, 0.47 of total phosphorus, and 30.2 megajoule ME, and it's going down without in this phases down to 30.5% of protein. And this we compared to the concept with the NutriSpa, starting with 50.5% of crude protein and goes down to 12.5% of crude protein. And just to see, because we also reduce the phosphorus, we are forced to do it by law, to reduce the impact of phosphorus and the soil. So the results, and also we reduce the proportion of lysine to energy also in this trial. And to have a short look on the group with the NutriSpa, see that we improved the feed conversion ratio, and nearly the same daily gain in this trial. And it's a trial from the better times. In 2070, we have at least a surplus of more than 22 euros per pig using this concept. And nevertheless, these were the trial from Germany. It also works in other countries. Thanks, Jakob. It also works in Denmark. Just to show you also one trial Jakob did in Denmark, where we also used the NutriSpa in reducing the protein level in the diets. And nevertheless, also there was a remark by the owner that the pigs seem to be healthier, but at least would be an effect of the amount of ammonia we reduced also by reducing the protein level in the diets. And you see that trial in Denmark, where they also reduced the protein level by nearly 1%. And according to our at least results, we were able to save at least 8 kilograms of soybean meal, which represented 20% of total per pig by using the NutriSpa. So what will be the most benefit of the NutriSpa? You can save 5 up to 10 kilograms of soybean meal per slaughter pig. You have less slurry, better climate. It's a sustainable feeding strategy. It's also suitable for organic farming. As far as I know, in Denmark already, there's a product line with the NutriSpa, and at least it's a benefit of about 2 up to 3 euros per pig. And we also do have like normally it's a little bit bigger, the slide. This is also a tool where you can fill in your actual protein levels in your diet, and you compare it with a recommendation based with a NutriSpa. So you see that you can easily have a benefit in taking out soybean meal, and at least we saw also a better feed conversion ratio by using NutriSpa and reduced levels of protein in the diet. So we have for Germany recommendations concerning the use of NutriSpa. It might be different in other countries. As I already mentioned, the demand is different for lean meat and carcass quality. We also did a trial with piglets, where we at least in the control it was extra as an enzyme, and it was compared to NutriSpa double dose as a normal dosage for slaughter pigs, and we only reduced the level of protein by 1% without any supplementation of free amino acids. Means in the control diet we had 70.5% of crude protein, and we just skipped out soybean meal to go down to 60.5% of crude protein. No additional activities and supplement with amino acids. So we in our trials we had 2 periods starting with 7.4 kilograms. It's go up to 60.5 in the very first period. Means by reducing the protein level and using NutriSpa, we had a tremendous increase in daily gain within the first days after weaning, and at least in this case a higher feed consumption. So all over the periods we had this advantage, especially after weaning, and you see, in spite reducing protein level, adequate performance of NutriSpa, so at least it works. And you know that we are looking for sustainable feeding concepts. I just made a calculation using NutriSpa for all the slaughter pigs in Germany. So at least using NutriSpa would save, as a model calculations, 14,000 truckloads of soybean meal per year, and means nearly 500,000 liters of diesel less in Germany if you use NutriSpa, and also the means in greenhouse emission also 1,400 tons of CO2 equivalent less, and at least also less land needed for soybean meal cultivation in Brazil, for example. So we save also the rainforest in using the NutriSpa. So this was a very short race through the advantage of NutriSpa. Thanks for all, and if you have any question, ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arndt. Yeah, the next one is Jacob Dahl with Fibomin.
Yeah, thanks. I'll just share my screen. You should be able to see it now.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Yeah, Fibromin. It's a long story, but basically Fibromin is a product intended to be supplemented for piglets during suckling. And after weaning, basically any time where there could be some challenges with diarrhea. Yes. So one of the things with Fibromin is that it actually utilizes the technology also used in EuroFoss, as Per or the video broadcast of Per earlier. So we don't have that documentation, not nearly as scientifically strong as what Per was showing, but we of course expect some of this to a little bit rub off on Fibromin. The main part of Fibromin is actually the inert fiber, which Per was also mentioning. In Fibromin, the fiber is actually the sort of the main functionality. This special type of inert fiber is digestive stability and safety. It stimulates the gut motility, the peristaltics, making sure that the content of the intestines are moving, meaning that in this way, we can prevent the pigs from not eating, which is a very common problem after weaning, because as if it stops in the intestine, well, the pigs will stop eating, and we have the problems. This constant transport or also limits the hindgut fermentation, as well as the fact that these fibers will not be fermented. So if no fermentation is going on, well, nothing bad can happen, basically. And what is unique for this type of inert fibers is that they can actually hold water. You cannot say that they are soluble, but they are holding water, addressing one of the challenges associated with diarrhea, which is dehydration. So it sort of holds the water within the gut. And this is very unique for this type of inert fiber. Also, it contains acids, meaning we support the pig because we know that young pigs have a hard time acidifying the stomach. So when we supply acids, we help the pig keeping a low pH in the stomach. And this is important because this stimulates the protein digestion. Actually, the start of the protein digestion is based on a low pH in the stomach, activating some enzymes. And of course, also a maybe more commonly known functionality is that simply if the pig end up taking up some pathogens, some bacteria through the mouth into the stomach, this very low pH will basically kill these bacteria. There is some similarities in the functionality to peat, and actually the idea also came out of peat because we earlier had products based on peat, which we had to discontinue because of biosecurity issues. So fiber acids improving or influencing the microbial gut balance. We have the vitamin E, but also, of course, peat, which is basically dug out of the ground, contains some trace minerals, iron, zinc, copper, which is also part of Fibromin. And one of the things that we have been working with Fibromin is the palatability, and not the least a physical form that makes application easy and dust-free and improves the acceptance of the pigs. I believe, Annie, that this one will be available and be at the booth in Hanover. So this is sort of a one-pager briefly explaining some of the key points and also how to use the product. It's unfortunately, it's a little bit complicated depending on how old the pigs are and what the objective is. But you can refer to this one to pick up on that. And then just a little bit about the experiences, the feedback from customers in Denmark from the pilot testing that was done before it went commercial. Generally, the customers, the farmers trying it, report that the pigs like it. They want to eat it. They're very interested, have a significant intake, and several, even though sort of from a legal point of view, it's not a product to fight diarrhea. That is what we are told. Either you supply it alone or mixed into feed. It doesn't matter. It works both ways. And as it says here, also both pre and post weaning, it has a very good effect. Yeah, just to recap, and then I can tell you that the latest development is that we had a customer a couple of weeks ago where the farm manager mistook fibomine for actual pre-starter feed and fed only fibomine for a few days to the piglets. Of course, they did not grow because there's no protein in here, but the positive feedback was that he did not see any diarrhea at all. So now he actually started by ordering 6 tons bulk of fibomine. He wanted it in a silo because he wants to include it with 5 or 10% in his home mixed pre-starter diet. It's still fairly new, so I will try to get some feedback from him before EuroTier, but I think that's it holds a very good potential. Yeah, that would be it from me.
Yes, thank you, Jacob. Now we have Faraz Ansari with Packstones.
Yep, thank you. Let me share my slides. Oh, hope you can see the full slides.
Yes, looks good.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk about the Packstone. So as you also know, the Packstone are enrichment material and one of our leading products. It's more than 10 years in the market and actually is well known in the group. Some words about the background of the Packstone. Poultry have their own natural behavior, such as scratching, dust passing, and locomotion activities, and also pecking. So the pecking is belong also to our natural behavior of the poultry and needed to be satisfied, otherwise it could turn to cannibalism and feather picking. Another issue would be also the issue with the big trimmed band in some European countries. For example, in Germany, we are not allowed to perform big trimming. And of course, having an intact beak can cause huge damages if we have feather picking issues in the flock compared to the flock with the big trimmed animal. So just briefly about the advantages of our Packastones. So Vilofoss Packstone satisfy the natural behavior of the animal, ensure active preoccupation of the animal, reduce stress from the first day, promote acting out specific behavior, promote activity and mobility, support natural beak wear, and we offer our Packstone in different hardness grades. And please be informed also that our Packstone are more than enrichment material. Our Packstone also give possibility of an animal to individual additional intake of, for example, calcium, magnesium, and sodium. And our Packastones are also QS-capable feedstuff and also approved for organic farms. I already mentioned we offer our Packstone in different hardness grades. These 4 of these hardness grades, they are the standard one. For example, we have an extra hard, medium, duo, and also active Packastones. So Packstone extra hard is suitable for layers, breeders, and turkeys. Normally for the Packstone hard, we use for layers, especially, and also you can use in broiler. Medium one is the soft one, so it's suitable for chicks, broiler, and also game birds. We have the Packstone Duo. The hardness grade is between medium and also hard. It's suitable for slow-growing broilers and broiler. And also we have the Packstone extra hard or active one, which is also suitable for layers, breeders, and also turkeys. So I have some questions which normally we receive from our customers. The first question is in which age we can use a Packstone. So pecking and also feeding behavior start from the first day. as the chicks start to hatch, need to peck in the eggshell and hatch. So always use a peck stone from day one. This is very important. Also, especially the animal get to use the enrichment material. Another question, how many peck stones needed? This is very tricky questions. So the farmer need to watch its animals and the consumption of the peck stone in the farm. Our recommendation would be 500 to 800 animals per stone. This is the route indication. For smaller herds, for example, for the backyard chickens or the hobby farmer, they use 100 up to 250 animals per stones. Of course, using more stones is advisable. Why quality of the enrichment material is important? Because the pecking, if we have always the pecking, we always have also oral intake of the material. You may see in this right side the video as the chicks pecked at the peck stone, they also take also material and have oral intake of the material. So our peck stone, our feed stuff corresponded to European feed law and the QS feed monitoring system. Unfortunately, there are in the market some competitors so offer some buildings material such as cement or beton blocks, but it's not advisable to use such products because they can be contaminated with harmful substance or heavy metals. So how we ensure our quality management and the quality of our peck stones? So start with using the best raw material to manufacture our peck stones. We carefully select and control all raw materials. All our factory all certificated, different certification. We have, for example, GMP Plus, A-Food, FALOC, and so on. We also perform gluten control and also salmonella monitoring. So regarding raw material gluten control, we test our raw material regarding heavy metals such as arsenic, lead, mercury, cadmium, for example, dioxin, pesticide residual, so fluorine, non-dioxin-like PCBs or dioxin-like PCBs, and also salmonella. This is very also important for breeding companies. Regarding salmonella controlling, we make a test and control the raw material, bag filling system, mixtures, weighting scopes, pallets, also even the working clothes of the calf in the production. So mineral or organic based enrichment material or the peck stones. Some farmers use all kinds of organic materials such potatoes, grains, apples, and so on. The disadvantage of using these materials, they have very short shelf lives. So you can't stock in big quantity this stuff. So using the building material I already mentioned, it's not advisable because of the harmful substance inside. And also some farmers use different subjects like CDs, cables, toilet brush, plastic bottles. This is also not suitable as a preoccupation material because based on the definition of the enrichment material, these materials should be animal could be work on it, so manipulable. So they are not also suitable as a preoccupation material. Why different hardness grade? Because each flock react differently in their specific climate, feeding, keeping condition, as also management. For example, at the right side, you can see the effect of the feed form. For example, if you use a pellets form, so the consumption time for the feeding is very short. So the animal have a lot of time, so they get bored and start to peck to their neighbors. In the left side, this is our trial, for example, the effect of the age and also the stress situation, for example, in this case, heat stress. In this study, we used the peck stone heart. As you see, in the phase 1, it took only 2 weeks that the animal consumed totally the peck stone heart. But in the phase 3, as the animal is a little bit older and also they are performing the heat stress, So the consumption of the packer stone reduced. That is the same packer stone with the same quality. And what is important, we have always the highest consumption of packer stone in the first week. So in this case, we always offer a packer stone of different hardness grades together or in the rotations. Another most question that we receive, do we have a small packer stones? Unfortunately, currently we can only offer a packer stone duo. That is the stone that's separatable in 2 parts, 2 5 kilo stones. Unfortunately, we are not able to offer a smaller packer stone for cage and for other hobby or backyard chickens. Just briefly about the packaging, because we receive also some questions. Yeah, we use a plastic bowl that's not good. So packer stone offered in certificated and recyclable plastic bowl. They are also food safe. And in Germany, I don't know, other European country also, we also pay a lot of money for the recycling companies, which they recycle the plastic bowl. And another side effect of the plastic bottles, you can see in this video, after totally consumption of the packer stone, even the animal attracted to these plastic bottles and pegged to the plastic bottle instead of each other. Another advantage of using plastic bubbles, in the left side you can see the competitor, that is the buildings material. As you see, the packer stone in the short time just get dirty and the animal lost their interest to peck. In the left side, you can also see if the packer stone is there longer in the farm, if it's be put on the floor, also contaminated with feces, so get dirty and animal lost their interest to peck. This is the comparison to using plastic bowls or without plastic bowls. About the packaging, we always use a brand new clean one-way pallet. We also use a protection or pallet hood. We export more than 20 countries worldwide our packer stones, and for the customer which they request for the, we can also use a container airbags for the safe transport. How to place the packer stone in the farm? For the chicks, just put on the floor without the plastic bowls. For the layers, for the older animal, you can put the packer stone on top of the upturned plastic bowls. And for the turkeys, especially, you can use also our hanging elements and hang the packer stone in the farm. And finally, we are also very proud of our packer stones. Most of the breeding companies use our packer stone because of the high quality of our products. For example, Lohmann Breeders or Hendrix Genetics. So you can always see our packer stone picture in their management guides. Here's some scientific documentation of our packer stones. So I think that's from my side.
Perfect for us. Thank you. Now, finally, we have Uwe with the liquid products.
So, okay, I hope that also my screen is now on.
Yes.
And good day to everybody. I would like to share some brief information about our liquid supplements, about our liquid complementary feeds. Maybe you know that they're quite common in poultry production. You find them very often that they're in use in poultry production. Besides this, but also with rabbits and I think also more and more in pig production. Maybe in poultry it's quite common because we have this special drinking water systems where you can add some additives. Here are some pictures from a turkey barn, from a turkey house, where we have special water containers where you can add such supplements and bring them to the birds into the house. Why we use these supplements in poultry production? Yeah, it's in Germany we have a saying, every day is different. I think it's not easy to translate this into English. So in English, I think it's more positive to say every day is unique. And I would say every day is unique and brings new challenge. And you have to react on this challenge. It's not only for management with temperature and so on. It's also on the nutritional side that you have to react and change your feed or give some extra nutrients. So the requirement of nutrients is not always the same. Very often your birds facing periods where they need some extra nutrients, where they have higher demands, or where they maybe cannot resorb enough nutrients from the feed. So and then you bring this liquid supplements into the game to support with some additional nutrients and to help your birds then. So these are the main approaches to use the supplements. There are also special situations where you can use them. So one effect is, or one situation is this boostering situation where you try to give them some extra vitamins and nutrients. Very often you use these supplements when you place young birds, when you're receiving new chicks or new turkey poults. At the beginning they have a low feed intake, and it's sometimes tricky to get them started to eat. And drinking is always very sure, and they have the double water intake compared to feed intake. So it's a good way to give them very quickly nutrients. Sometimes you have periods with reduced feed intakes, especially during heat stress periods. We see sometimes periods with reduced nutrient absorption from the gut when the birds are suffering from digestion problems. Or you want to give them some extra vitamin E, for example, when you have vaccination going on. We have with layers, they have big challenge when they're coming into production and when the hormones production is changing. So we have a lot of metabolic challenge. Or when, for example, stress situations with loading the birds, bringing them to the slaughterhouse, you can prepare them also with some additional nutrients delivered from supplements. As you know, we have some own production in Denmark. Besides this, we also started 2 years ago to work with one of our partners with their liquid products, and we were able to take some of their products over and distribute them with our own brand. These are the main products which we are using at the moment. I tried to make some grouping of them. So the main products which we are selling at the moment are this products from the ADE group. They are very common in poultry production. You find them very often in different versions. So we started originally with this AD3 EC, but in the moment we are selling mainly this ADE products without C. And we have different versions, different concentrations available. So this is quite common into poultry production, and we're also offering them. Also quite often you find products from this vitamin E and selenium group. We call them a little bit different to make them a little bit special. We call them selenium plus E, but the main ingredient is vitamin E. This is a product, for example, which you use against a stress situation to boost the immunity system when you have vaccination going on. ADE, I would say also for starting young birds, also for D3, for bone support, mineralization, and also immunity, epithelial protection. And then we have another big group with 3 different products inside. It's the multivitamin products. They have all the necessary vitamins inside, and besides this, you also find trace elements, some amino acids inside. So they are multivitamin, and there we can offer in the moment 3 different products. One of them is a water-soluble powder. So they are the first 2 ones are liquid, and then we have a water-soluble powder there also. And then some other products, the B complex product, which is delivering B vitamins and to support metabolism for growth. And not all B vitamins are included. This is adjusted to the demand of poultry. So you find especially the B vitamins that are required by the poultry. And then we have two more special products. That's A-Breeze. It's a mix out of essential oils. It's used against heat stress and to protect the respiratory system of the birds. And then we have a product called Liver PS, PS from Protection and Support. This is a product which supports liver health and liver metabolism and fat transport, especially for laying birds then. Yeah, I think this is a little bit small. I try to show a little bit what's inside. So we have, like mentioned before, this multivitamin products where we have nearly all vitamins inside. Choline chloride is a little bit tricky, so it's not inside. You have some amino acids also inside. Then we have this B complex group with B vitamins inside. This commodities, this AD3. And then we have this A-Breeze product with essential oils inside and the liver support product. So Anne with Teams is on my screen. Sorry, it's a little bit tricky from the feed law. So if you see the labels of the products, please don't wonder. Inside Europe, we are not allowed in the moment anymore to mention the essential oils. So you will find them inside on the label because it's not allowed to applicate the essential oils by drinking water. So please don't wonder if you see the label and you don't see that the essential oils for these two products are mentioned on the label. This is for A-Breeze and for Liver PS then. To give you a little idea about the application or administration ratio of such products, I try to put a table together where you can see very quickly the application ratio of products. It's mostly between 100 and 500 milliliter per 1,000 liter of drinking water. This is a common dosage for poultry that you work with this milliliter or liter per liter drinking water. And you can see most of the products are between 100 and 500. There are some high concentrated with only 50 milligrams. And so this will give you a quick overview in introduction for the dosing administration ratio. On the EuroTier booth, we will have not a separate liquid flyer this time. But you will find some information inside our poultry solution flyer, which will be available on the stand. So this is the general introduction to the poultry products and poultry business. And at the end of this brochure, you have a double side or two sides with different poultry products. For example, also the pack stones, the Stalosan F for poultry, and also laying plasmide arome. And inside there we also will find a short description of the main products, which you can out to people or your customers that are interested into these liquid products. So some for the end, some quick impressions about how the products are looking. In the moment, we are mainly distributing or selling 1 liter bottles. It's a standard bottle for such a product. It's a window bottle, so you can see how much is out and out of the product and used for application. And besides this, we also could offer inside 5 liter canister containers, but we did this only in the moment for one customer, so it's packed with 4 canisters of 5 liters, so it's 20 liters per box. Then we have for some promotional items, we also were using 200 milliliter bottles. This is more for promotional purpose. And then just for your information, this is one special product for only one customer. here's also a unique special bottle, and it's packed into a cardboard box to protect it and to make it a little bit special then. So in the moment, so we're working with this product since 2 years, and we have a little challenge, still a little challenge at the moment. It's the distribution network or the logistic network. In the moment, we only can offer the products with full pallets. So we need a quite big quantity. So minimum order quantity is around 500 liters per product. And the best would be to sell full pallets. And capacity of the pallets is we're working with 2 different types of pallets. This is the Euro pallet and the CP1 pallets. And with the 1 liter product, for example, the capacity for full pallets is between 600 and 840 liters, which we have to offer in the moment. And that's some impression to show you how we load and how it's transport. So these, for example, are full pellets, industrial pellets with 840 liters. So this is a little bit the challenge we're still facing in the moment. We're working on this to offer also smaller quantities, but in the moment we're selling mainly full pellets to customers then. Okay, that's very short and briefly about the liquids then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uwe. Now we are through our program. We have 2 questions until now, practical questions to you, Markus. Regarding dress code, is a dark blue suit okay? And brown shoes okay? Markus, are you there?
He went to his own computer. Maybe he is in the spectator mode, not in the speaker mode. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think we can solve that when we look on the slide with the dress code. We see that it is okay to wear a dark suit, and I think dark blue is also okay in this case. So I think that's not a problem.
Yes.
And the other thing we can also answer regarding the parking area, but there is Marco, so he can answer it by himself.
Yeah, I say, Annabelle, you said something to the dress code, I think. I've changed the room.
Yeah,
so
as a dress code, there was a question of a dark blue suit.
Yeah, I think that is okay, dark blue or black. That's perfect.
And brown shoes.
And by shoes, you are free. Yeah.
Okay, could also be a sneaker.
Yeah.
Is there a special place we need to park our cars at the fairgrounds, or do we have access to parking tickets?
No, we are free to park anywhere. There's no parking place for exhibitors. No.
Yeah, and we get no free tickets for parking.
No,
we have
no
to
free
pay
tickets.
and yeah. Okay.
So I would like to ask how we handle prospective customers from Russia and Belarus. What about these guys going to our booth? So we at least we skipped all activities in Russia and Belarus. So how to transfer it to these customers or people?
Annabelle, maybe you can answer to this.
Yes, I don't know that we expect many customers from Russia. If there are any customers or any leads, we should be kind and then try to handle it afterwards. And maybe if they put pressure on us, then we can mention that due to sanctions, we first have to clarify what is possible to do.
Yes, okay.
But I don't think that we expect many customers from these areas. We already heard that from DLG, from the EuroTier organization, that not many customers from there are expected.
Yes, okay. There are no more questions, so I will finish our event today. We will send the presentations and the recorded video of this webinar to every one of you, and also the question and answers. And if you have further questions, you can just write it to me and I will forward it and we will answer it. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a nice
Bye.
weekend.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Very much.